Alright, folks. What is up? It's me, Thomas Fan01, and before we even continue with this live stream, I have to give a specific company their due diligence. Firstly, I'd like to point out that Big Bad Toy Store, you guys killed it. You guys have already killed it amazingly so far. GameStop, eat a dick. So, yeah. So, but, anyways, we have the 2-pack. It's finally here. Finally got the 2-pack. Yay! I got it. I finally got it. I'm so happy. Oh, it took me freaking ever to get this thing. Let me explain the story that goes along with this nightmare of a review that's coming. So, the first thing that happened with this would be, it started back in about, I want to say April of this year, maybe a little earlier, when GameStop ended up getting these two in stock. Or at the very least, they were about to get these two in stock. Let me explain to you how this managed to get to my hands. Firstly, the story starts about April of 2025. GameStop had these guys on sale, and they were going to be perfectly ready to go, right? They're going to be ready to go. They're going to be, we'll ship them out to you, no problem whatsoever, right? Well, the problem that ensued was the fact that they seriously didn't care. They just didn't care. GameStop did not care. GameStop didn't inform me once about the delivery date of this guy. They changed it 3 times. They refused to tell me every single time. And by the time I finally got to, get this thing, I had to remove my pre-order, and I had to go with Big Bad Toy Store. So Big Bad Toy Store gets my business and will continue to get my business from this point forward. I don't trust GameStop anymore. I just don't. So, anyways, that being said, because peoples are here in the live stream, that being said, if y'all choose to comment, you're more than welcome to. We are now going to get this unboxing started. So, and by the way, this is 3 and 4 out of 6. There is a small note on, I believe it's Bone Crusher's packaging, and I think he's probably going to be the anomaly. And the reason why they decided to make one of them an anomaly out of the packaging is because of how they had to do this. So, let's just... Yeah, this is exciting. I'm happy. Yay! Alright. Here's the instructions. They're going to be useful at some point, I'm fairly certain. So that being said, if you do decide to comment, you do get shouted out at the end of the video. Don't forget that. Don't forget it. But anyways, let's start with... Oh, goodness. Are these... Wait a minute. Do they have 2 different... Hold on here. I literally... You can't see this off camera, but... 2 sets of instructions popped out. I think this is for the trailer? Oh, this is how to turn everything into Devastator. This is Devastator's instructions. So we will check that out later. This is Long Haul and Hook's instructions. So I'm excited about this. So let's get these guys out of the box, because I am dying to take a look at these guys. And because they're packaged in vehicle mode, we're not going to transform them. We're not really going to mess with them all too much. But we are going to look at them, and we are going to get them into their respective modes. Or maybe not in their respective modes, but in the reviews, we will get them into their respective modes. So we'll start with Long Haul. Let me put them off to the side here. So let's continue with Hook. Hook. This is the chest for Devastator, which is a little... I mean, it's parts for the chest, so there's that. And then there's these, which are taped at the back, but we'll get those out in just a moment here. Gotta get this out first. Gotta get Hook's additional pieces out. So pop that right on. So here we have Hook out. Here's Long Haul. So However, if y'all notice, Long Haul's the one who gets to carry all the cool stuff. So let's get this out of its bag. This looks like it's the other pieces to Devastator. So other pieces to Devastator, I'm going to assume these are arms, and this is probably the chest. Oh, there's the guns and... What the... There's... Oh, okay, I forgot. There's... Wait. I don't know. We'll get into this in just a moment, so... There's that. And let's get this trailer out. So... Yeah. There we go. Yay. Hooray. Trailer's out, and this insert can go bye-bye. Now, let me clean this up a little bit. We don't want to be dirty all up in here. So, that being said, happy Sunday for those of you guys who are watching it in the United States. For those of you who are watching it outside of the United States, I don't know what day it is for you. However, whatever day it is, happy day. Have a happy day. Have a good day. So, let's just take these, and there are 2 little ports right there where this is supposed to just... That works, I suppose. I mean, I'm not real too big of a fan of that, but, I mean, it works. So, I'm just happy that there's more Constructicons to go around now, finally. And it's not, you know, like, absolute trash. And not to mention, I'm also grateful that they gave this guy and they gave this guy brand new molds. These molds are brand spanking new. They are not anything of the same related to Combiner Wars, although this one came mistransformed. You know how you can tell is because of the hands there. Actually, I don't know. I will look at those instructions here in just a bit, so that way I can be 100% accurate on that. So, yeah. So, that being said, if y'all do decide to comment, you do get shouted out at the end of the video, so please feel free to comment away if you would like to. So, yeah. Alright, let's get this open. There we go. So, ooh, Devastator. Okay, so that comes with Devastator's arms, and it comes with this. Okay, okay. Whew, whew, whew. For a moment here, I thought these fists were just straight up molded. I mean, don't get me wrong, they are, but they're not, you know, I truly wish they were, you know, individually fingered, but, you know, hey, there's, I mean, you know, what can you do? So, and then these are supposed to go right in here, and here you would have one arm, and here you would have another arm. So, here you go. There's Devastator's arms and hands. So, at least when we get into the actual combined form for everything, it'll be much more useful for everyone. So, okay, let me try. I don't know what that's supposed to... Oh, okay. I see what you did, Hasbro. I see what you did. I see what you did there. So, in order to get this to properly do that, I do believe... Do this, rotate that down. Alright, I guess we can't pop the hands in. I don't know why you can't do that, but you can't pop the hands in and keep them in. That's a little annoying, considering how much I paid for these guys. So, especially for them to show up in, you know, not that they're showing up in bad shape or they're a bad figure or they're in terrible packaging or anything of the nature. It's not any of that at all. It's a personal hang-up. So, let's just get these out. I do believe this is the rocket that is supposed to attach to Devastator's head, and it is effects compatible, so if you do have your siege parts, you're all good to go. So, that's over there. Alright, so, that's what I'm supposed to do. Look away, children. But, I'm gonna pop these out. I noticed these little bits here. And I'm gonna take that, put that off the side. And then we can take this, and I do believe that's when we're able to... Alright. What's this trailer configuration supposed to look like? I gotta know. Okay, so... apparently, this is not a Blast Effects piece. I was wrong. It's a gun. Hooray. But you're supposed to take this gun, you're supposed to plug this one on the side here. I have a feeling this connection's gonna suck entirely, so... yeah. That being said, I'm excited for the new Superman movie. I'm quite stoked. I'm actually really, really excited for that. David Cornsweet's Superman looks really, really good. So I'm not as in Henry Cavill did a bad job. I personally like the David Cornsweet one. So I'm personally in that minority. So you can choose to be mad at me all you want over it, but yeah. So how am I supposed to get these hands? Well, there goes Bone Crusher. Oh, okay. So it says I'm supposed to have these down this, because this is what it's supposed to look like. You're supposed to rotate this. What? Ah, it's supposed to go like this. Close that up, and then plug that on the top there. There we go. That makes me feel better. But I'm not insane. Fold that back in. Plug that at the front. And then this goes underneath the trailer. Like so. This here gets clipped onto the side. Right there. There we go. That looks better. Doesn't that look just better? Because that doesn't look ridiculous rolling down. Hey, what's up, Tahatiar? How you doing? How are you doing? I am doing great. And also, hello. I appreciate it. You getting shouted out at the end of the video, and you getting shouted out now. So yeah. Alright. I just wish there was a spot for this to go. There doesn't appear to be. Unless, you really want it to look ridiculous. So, but here we go. We have our two new Constructicons that are just... I'm just stoked. I'm so happy these things showed up finally. So, like I said, the ordeal that was GameStop to get this, to even get, just to get these two Constructicons into my house was ridiculous. It all started back in April of this year. GameStop was telling me, oh yeah, we have them, and we have them for, I think it was for actual retail price, which wasn't too bad. And then shortly after they said, oh yeah, we have them, and we will definitely ship them out to you. They then decided to lie to me and told me, yeah, you're not going to get that. It's not going to show up until August now. I was like, okay, cool, no problem, no sweat. That's not that big of a deal. I can wait till August for these to show up. Well, August was then turned into October. And I was like, I don't think I'm going to order from GameStop. So I'm going to order from Big Bad Toy Store, which is where I purchased these. They're not paying me to tell you this. I'm telling you this as the content creator here. I recommend Big Bad Toy Store for this set specifically. And I'm going to be real with you. If you have or had anything on pre-order, just at least with GameStop, if you had anything on order or pre-order with GameStop, you may want to consider getting rid of it because they Big Bad Toy Store seriously just knocked GameStop completely out of the water and just gone. It like they seriously outdid themselves with this delivery and got everything ready to go. So I can't complain about that in the slightest. So yeah, so we got Hook ready to go with all this Hook deal. I actually quite like this version of Hook. I think this is my favorite version of Hook. Yeah, I don't even think the G1 version holds a candle to this, but they did have to re-engineer this a little bit, so I am going to show you guys here. We're going to move all of this off to the side here for just a brief moment. But actually, I am going to have to put this right here. I don't want to, but I'm going to have to. So, but let me bring the packaging in for a real quick moment so I can show you guys what I'm talking about. So, they had to re-engineer Hook because no matter what way you looked at it, no matter how things turned out, the robot mode always looked ridiculous in the feet. Like seriously, these feet they looked ridiculous. So in order to compensate and figure out a way in order to re-engineer the feet to the point that they don't look awful in robot mode, they basically just re-engineered it to a point where these pieces are just fold down as the feet, and they got the legs pretty much on par with each other. So it doesn't look that bad here. So be aware of all of that. So we're going to rotate this back around, and we're going to put it back over here. So I think this is quite a nice 2-pack because if y'all know the story of this 2-pack, y'all know the story of this 2-pack, which is basically Canada, Japan, and certain other countries got this months ago. We in America just got this like within the last couple of weeks, like maybe 2 at best. So yeah. That being said, don't forget to subscribe for more content if you can. So, anyways, that being said, also if you do decide to comment on the video, you do get shouted out at the end of the video. I do make and uphold to most of my promises, so please be aware of that. And take note, your names do show up in the comment section, so I can read them. So, yeah. But no, this 2-pack, I am so stoked for it. Like, you have no idea how much I'm really excited for this review. In fact, I might do just 3 videos. I might do just a video on this guy covering him, and I might do another video just covering him, and then I might do a video where it covers both of them and how to get this and him and all of this into their modes, and we will then start with Scrapper and Bone Crusher, to officially start Devastator. So that's what I'm really excited for. And the fact that there's only 2 left now that are really an issue, they're not even really an issue. They're just like they're gonna show up eventually here within the next within the last bit of this year. They're going to show up. But the point being is that we have a Studio Series 86 Devastator right here, almost ready to go. So yeah. All right. Let's see here. If anybody else decides to comment on the video, I definitely would appreciate that because we are definitely. I'm excited for this. Like seriously, this excites me. So, you know what? Just for kicks and giggles, why don't we get these guys into there? Actually, do we want to do that or do we want to? Actually, yeah, we'll do that. You know what? On second thought, nah, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that yet. I'm not going to do it yet. I don't want to. So, yeah. Anyways, if you guys got any questions or comments or concerns or things you guys are interested in, let me know. We talk about everything on this channel. Everything. I'm just kidding. Not everything. But we definitely do talk about a lot of stuff on this channel. We just don't go political. That's one thing we do not do on this channel. We do not go political. We don't go political, period. So, yeah. Anyways. Oh my gosh, I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited because not only are we getting Devastator this year, we're also getting Studio Series 86 Megatron. And I gotta say, I'm not the biggest fan of that tank mode, but that you all know there's going to be a fan mode that is going to be the Walter P38. Someone's gonna do it, and you all know DNA Design's going to make a third-party upgrade kit for it. Y'all already know they're gonna do it. So I'm just really excited for what they decide to do and how they decide to do it. So, yeah. Bought this at a thrift store for $3. Couldn't say no. Hmm. I genuinely don't know how to transform this guy. I've never owned this figure before in my life. So, this guy monster There we go. My question though is, how do these legs do this? I just don't get it. I don't know if there's something to get. I don't know if there's something that I'm missing. I don't know if I'm even doing, if I even did this right. But I probably did not. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I probably did not. Yeah, I don't think so. So there we go. But at the same time, what do these do? This chunkiness gets in the way of everything. I would love to know. Hey, yo, what's up, Lemon Lime Studios? How you doing? How's it hanging? I don't know if you saw, but we unboxed the two-pack. We got this two-pack already. If you don't know how to get it, go to Big Bad Toy Store. I encourage you to do that. So definitely encourage y'all to do that. So that being said, I did not know this, but apparently this scrapper is allegedly just the Combiner Wars version with a few extra articulation points, I hear. I didn't collect the Combiner Wars Devastator because I thought it looked ugly as shit. So, hey, what's up, Searshare 007? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing with that? But no, I did not know that this thing was actually just like a straight up, oh, you know what, we're just gonna repaint it, maybe retool it a smidge, give it a few extra articulation points, but that'll be the figure. I didn't know that because I didn't care for Combiner Wars all too much. Not to mention, I didn't really also care that much for Power of the Primes. Because, take note, my thing with Power of the Primes and Combiner Wars was the fact that there was no engineering for any of the molds. It was all copy and paste. Only difference with a few characters being the Monster Cons, really. Let's be honest, the Monster Cons are really the only ones who really stood a chance at that. They actually looked a little different. But the thing that frustrated me... Oh, hey, what's going on, Shaun Schwave? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Anyways, it's basically the CW Scrapper engineering-wise, but as far as parts go, it's entirely new. Okay, like I said, I don't know because I didn't collect Combiner Wars, nor did I collect a lot of Power of the Primes, because I thought that this stupid Combiner gimmick of having only a Deluxe class and a Voyager class to make your Combiner, which honestly is fine, it's not that big of a deal. If you did collect them, I don't shun you or shame you. I don't care. But my thing is that if you're gonna do something, make it unique. Make it unique. Make it different. Make it something that nobody's ever seen before. Not copy and paste, where you literally just transform a few things, maybe flick in a few joints, and voila, there you are. There's the arm. And then you have to click it all back together, and then this is what you're left with. I just can't. I just can't get on board with that. So. But I definitely can get on board with reviewing this guy later on this week if y'all are interested. So don't stay tuned in for that. So are you enjoying the 86 Construct? I am enjoying the 86 Constructicons. In fact, I'm actually enjoying the fact that 86 is not dead at all. I'm actually very excited for the fact that we are getting more Studio Series 86 because in the last fan stream, if you guys did catch that, they did say Studio Series 86 was not dead. We just don't see a few listings because, well, 86 has kind of hit the bottom of the barrel. And this year is going to seriously be the bottom of the barrel for Studio Series 86. Not to mention, I can already guarantee you, this guy's going to get another re-release. This is the Kingdom Cyclonus, by the way, if you guys are unaware. I'm actually very impressed with my copy because I don't have the yellowing effect too much on my copy at all. So, I'm very pleased with that. But, take note. You can't seriously copy and paste and expect different results. So, I mean, it's almost like plagiarism. You're gonna copy somebody else's work, and if their work is wrong, then you're gonna know. So are they. So, but yeah, I'm actually quite pleased that we got 86 Galvatron. I knew they were just going to repaint the Kingdom version of him. I knew that was I just knew that was going to happen. So glad I didn't wait for a Devastator box set, especially after they said there won't be one for at least 3 years. Yeah, I did hear about that. But do you know why? Actually, there's a couple of reasons as to why they're not doing a box set quite yet. Firstly, if you guys are not aware, Age of the Primes next year is getting 2 Commander classes. It's getting 2. Obviously, it's going to be Onslaught because they're going to start Bruticus, so they got to get all the Combaticons ready to go. So obviously, it's going to be Onslaught. The second one is actually going to be really interesting, which I thought was really strange. But they went with Nemesis Prime, Armada Nemesis Prime, which once again, not bad, not bad. And on top of that, Studio Series, like actual Studio Series, is getting its first Titan class. To which I'm really confused as to who it's going to be. It's not Studio Series 86. They did tell us that. It's not Studio Series 86. They did tell us that it's supposed... I personally think it's supposed to be Stratosphere from Rise of the Beasts. Because there's a lot of characters that it could be, but that's one everybody was crying out. We want a Commander class. We want a Commander class. But if they do a Titan class, it'll actually fit in with the rest of the figures. So, I can't complain on that front. I thought Armada Nemesis was the PulseCon exclusive. It is, but it's Age of the Primes. It is a PulseCon exclusive, but it's coming in an Age of the Primes box. Yes, it is an exclusive. That Nemesis Prime is an exclusive, but it is in the Age of the Primes toy line. So Age of the Primes specifically is getting 2 commander classes next year. So that is what I'm very excited to tell you guys on that front. But I'm also stoked because a lot of things from Age of Extinction in the last night are finally getting thrown into the mix for Studio Series. To which, if you guys didn't also catch that, they also are going to make the way for Studio Series Revenge of the Fallen Skids and Mudflap. They were like made for Studio Series since day one. But it frustrates the crap out of me that they decided not to do anything with those from day one. Like, seriously, I would have loved for them to have Studio Series Mudflap, Skids. Take note. Oh, do you know why they only raised the price on the leader class? I do, actually. And it's actually kind of more entertaining. That was the only item that was to be tariffed. It was the only item in the Hasbro store that needed to be tariffed specifically for United States market. The reason for that is because the rest of the stuff stayed the same, but leader class they needed to make a slight price increase because the leader classes are the majority of them at least are still being made overseas because that's who owns the majority of the leader classes. The Voyagers, Deluxes, Core class, and I think Commander classes too. And I don't know about Titans on that one 100%, but I do know that the reason why is because all of those were getting imported from other countries. So these ones were still the ones that were getting imported from Japan and Asia and China and all of that place. So because these ones were getting imported from other countries, these ones were the ones that got tariffed. I've done my research on this. You can look it up. However, I don't know if my research is completely faulty, so please do not take it at heart. But from what I've read and from what I've understood, the leader classes are the only ones that are being tariffed because they're still being made in Japan, Asia, China, Taiwan, the whole deal. But the rest of these are being imported from Japan to other countries, which we have trade exports with. So I don't know. You think the Dead Prime will be a commander? No, in fact, it actually was listed as a leader class. Believe it or not. And by the way, you can totally check this out. I did a live stream a couple of weeks ago. I think it was we looked at a bunch of the leaks. You can actually see on the TFW 2005 wiki page. You actually saw there was leader class anniversary sleep Optimus Prime or sleep mode Optimus Prime, which I'm going to be real with you, that just means they're going to give us a black and gray version of Optimus Prime that looks like the dead version from the movie. So yeah, so just 86 Prime with his gun and his axe. I do believe it's going to be 86 Prime with his gun. I think he might come with his axe and one blast effect, but I don't believe anything else is going to come of it. It didn't really specify much, but if I had to really justify a leader class price point, it would be the figure, 2 blast effects, and a gun. So if he comes with his axe, that's an extra bonus weapon. That's awesome. But I don't think it's going to be commander class because of what I saw. So, not to mention, we are supposed to get, at the very least, 2 releases of Studio Series 86 Megatron. And the reason I say this is because when I did look at the listings, there was an exclusive, and I believe it's going to be a Target exclusive. I don't 100% know this, but I believe it's going to be a Target exclusive, and the Target exclusive is going to be an anniversary version of Studio Series 86 Megatron, which I personally believe is them going to go and cell shade it. So yeah. But to answer your question though, Searcher 007, yes. I do believe it is going to be just Commander class Optimus Prime with his gun, his axe, and maybe a couple of blast effects. So I don't know if that's actually going to be the case, but I personally believe that might be what actually goes down. So yeah. Man, I hope 86 Soundwave is a new figure and not. You're not a fan of the Netflix version? I gotta say, I'm personally a fan of the Netflix version. I'm just not a fan of the fact that they keep re releasing everything with it. However, if 86 Soundwave is to be the actual figure, I will sell my Soundwave, my Legacy Soundwave, with Buzzsaw and with what was it? Is it Nightbeat or Dark? Yeah, I don't know which one it was, but it's basically there was one of the it was the Rat Bat repaint that came with the Legacy United Thundertron 3-pack. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it's all good. So, anyways, that being said, if you guys haven't done so, please subscribe, because subscribing definitely helps you stay tuned for all of these guys' reviews and when we are going to be able to finish and continue with Devastator. So I'm gonna actually leave this to a vote here on the channel, because I have to do this guy and this guy separately. Do you want me to wait for this to be done when we get to combining all 6 of them? So I'm gonna do that. I don't know. They shouldn't have retooled it from the Siege Soundwave alt mode. It's kind of crappy. Well, here's the thing. If it was just that mold, and that was the official way for it to actually be done, I'd be a little bit more chipper about the legacy mold. But because that's not what they chose to do, I just can't get behind it. I just can't get behind it at all. So, but I am enjoying these 86 Constructicons. I will agree with that. And I gotta say, what they did with Long Haul and this nonsense, I'm very pleased with all of this. Because if you literally look at that, it looks like it belongs. It looks like it belongs with everything. It doesn't look like it sticks out like a sore thumb. It doesn't look like anything is just missing. It looks like it belongs with the set. So I can't complain. So yeah, but I do agree with you. They should not have retooled the 86. They should not have retooled the 86, or not 86. The Legacy and Siege Soundwave mold. They should not have retooled that into the Netflix Soundwave mold. I agree. I do agree 100% with you on that. However, hold on. I guess it did have an exclusive budget, so that probably didn't help. Yes, but no. I'm gonna say yes, but no. The budgets do help, but the fact that it was an exclusive. But the problem with it was that it was an exclusive mold like 2 to 3 different times. So when I say that mold was an exclusive for, what was it? They did an exclusive on that one for Netflix, the first one. They did an exclusive run on that one for the Shattered Glass, because if y'all remember, that one turned into it as well. And I think there was a Pulse exclusive or something. I can't remember exactly, but there was a third one that I vaguely remember, seeing it, and then they did the Legacy United version, which came with 3 cassette tapes. So, yeah. But I'm not gonna lie, that mold is decent for what it was trying to set up. It's okay for what it pulls off, and it's not bad for the price point. So, I mean, or at least it's not now. Odds of getting 86 Nemesis Prime. Fairly high, I'm going to say. I'm going to say the odds of getting 86 Prime are fairly stinking high. And the reason I say that is because we already have 86 Prime. It's not going to take long for Hasbro to seriously throw it in the Age of the Primes toy line and just call it straight up Nemesis Prime. They're already doing that. They've already done it with how many versions of Optimus Prime with all of their sublines not Studio Series within the last 6 years? So, I mean, it's not even a question of whether or not they'll do it. They will do it. It's not going to be a surprise, and Actually, no, I wouldn't even say 6 years. I would say more like the last decade. So, yeah. I'm surprised we never got one out of the Earthrise mold. Don't count your chickens before they hatch yet, my friend, because I have a feeling they're going to do something with it. And I have a feeling it's going to be an exclusive as well. But they did do that though with, let's see, they did it with the Power of the Primes mold. They did that with the Power of the Primes. They did that. Actually, they did that twice with the Power of the Primes. They did it with Rodimus Unicronus, and they did it with Nemesis Prime. But Nemesis Prime was an Amazon exclusive, which was really difficult to get a hold of. They also did the Siege version of Nemesis Prime, so there's always that version that's gonna throw you for a loop. Um, let's see what other ones have they done a version of the Bumblebee version of Optimus Prime, the Rise of the Beast version of Optimus Prime, but those are in Studio Series, but they were exclusives. So, oh, you got the Siege one from Amazon. That was a good one. I'm not gonna lie, that was a pretty good mold. So, but yeah, no, there's going to be a version of Nemesis Prime that is going to get made. It's probably going to get thrown either as an exclusive or an Age of the Primes version and throw it into some mold. But once again, they're still doing that with Prime molds because they're doing an animated Nemesis Prime. And the only reason I really want to get that 4 pack is for actually that whole 4 pack is a pretty darn good 4 pack. And the 4 pack I'm referring to is the 4 pack that comes with animated Nemesis Prime, G1 Ultra Magnus, the what was it? The Bumble Jumper thing that they turned into an actual character now and called him Bumper. And I can't remember what the fourth one was, but I think it might have been a Titan Master or something with the name. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head. His knee was unbelievably loose out of the box. Yeah, the Siege molds were. I gotta say this. Anything from Siege up to Kingdom, like, and I say straight up, right to Kingdom, had really, really loose molds. And their molds and their joints just sucked. So I can't say it was nice, but I will say this about the Studio Series 86 and at the very least this figure in Kingdom. And that is the fact that they are in really good shape. They do really well, and I can't really say anything bad about them. They just work. Not to mention, this guy's getting an 86 repaint here shortly, within at least the next year, because next year it's going to be 86, 86, 86, 86, and then nothing for at least a year to a year and a half, almost two. Because like seriously, next year is going to be a huge year for 86. And the reason why is because it's the 40th anniversary of the movie. So horrible. Yeah, horrible. That was it. I think that 4 pack is not bad. I just don't really think that horrible is the one that I'm going to want to get the 4 pack for. Like the 4 pack, the reason you buy that 4 pack is for Nemesis Prime, Ultra Magnus, and Bumper. That's the only reason you buy that 4 pack. But it's not a bad 4 pack. It's just those are the three figures that you only really buy that for. So, but I must say this. With the Studio Series 86 Constructicons being complete this year and having Studio Series 86 Devastator complete this year, it's going to be insane for what's coming next year. So, whether that is going to be a repaint of Metroplex in orange and tournament and call him Autobot City, which honestly would not be a bad idea. Hasbro, wink, wink, giving you some advice. Wink, wink. Come on, produce the goods there, people. So, but anyways, we are going to end this live stream here this afternoon, so y'all can have a wonderful rest of your Sunday if you live in America, and or a Saturday and or a Monday wherever you live in the rest of the world. So hold on, I don't mind Bumper and Horrible, but I really only want the other two. Yeah, that's really kind of the whole deal there, Searcher 007. So, but we are going to end this live stream here. We've had a pretty decent one today and a very good one on a Sunday, no less. So, anyways, Thank you to Taha TR, Lemon Lime Studios, Searcher 007, and Shaun Schwave. And please do not forget to check out Kit and Kat 999. Do not forget to check out Zaga the Animator, Corey Tucker. Let's also throw out Take Along Productions, Alexander Rothschild, Riveted Railfan, Riveted Reviews, Patrick with a Y, iStar552. And let's also throw out Jordy's Rail videos in there as well. So please do not forget to check all of them out. They are some friends of mine and some OGs of the channel, to which we have shouted out many a times. So, anyways, this is Thomas Fan1 saying, do not forget to keep playing with your toys. Have a good rest of your Sunday. Goodbye.